I'm here. Oh man. Oh man. What's going on? What's going on, party people? All right. Whew. So if I'm looking all shiny, that's because I've been sweating. I've been out there in that heat doing or the house inspections and and everything. So yeah, my whole day got sort of delayed, pushed back. So things got a little out of pocket. Um, Everything trying to get some signings done this morning. And yeah, so and I would have been here sooner, but I had to go. What's going on, Al? At the last minute, I remembered that I had to go by the bank. I'm just pulling all these coins and stuff out of my pocket. I have this bad thing where I don't like really nothing in my pockets when I'm sitting down on talking to y'all. I don't know why. It doesn't irritate me, but for some reason I end up just pulling everything out my pockets. And I didn't get a chance to do that beforehand and all of that. So, whew, I want to turn the fan on, but y'all know how that be doing me. Bad boy be making me cough from all that cold air. But I'll probably be coughing because I got my, oh man, I can't even hardly. There it is, macadamia nut milk ice cream. So I need something to sort of cool me down for a little bit here. Stuff ain't cheap. What's going on, Caprentice? Yeah. Stuff is not cheap. It costs about $6, but man, it is delicious. It is delicious. It has a unique taste to it. You literally can taste the macadamia nut. It's made from the macadamia nuts things, and pretty good. It's pretty good, honestly. It's pretty good. What's going on, Kelly from Texas, Dallas, Texas? Glad to see you in the house. So if y'all got questions or anything that y'all want me to cover, topics, go ahead on and throw them in the live chat. And I'll be more than happy to answer them. If you want to come on, as long as y'all, nobody got to keep an eye on them little creepy folk. Be trying to hop up in here, keep them out of the mix, and we should be good to go and stuff. So yeah, this last week has been real interesting. I've been running my mouth about a lot of different things. Some people liked it, some people didn't. A lot of people did like the notary pyramid scheme and notary boulette video, and I got a lot of feedback from that. A lot of people talked to me offline about that video and the follow-up video. So people really enjoyed that. I'm sure people who didn't like it probably keeping their comments off to the corner, and that's fine. That's totally up to you. But as always, if somebody wants to discuss / debate anything that I've said, I'll be more than happy to hear them. And people take debate as, like a negative, but debate, sorry about that. When you understand the whole thing about behind debates are about getting to the truth of the matter. One person believes one way, another person believes another way. And it's really all about getting down to the truth of the matter. What is the truth of the matter concerning this topic that we are possibly at odds about? And in doing so, that's where you get a chance to okay, well, here's your side, here's my side. And it allows the general public or the people who are concerned about it from that industry to take part and say, hey, yeah, okay, these are some good points. I like this here. I don't like that. And I think it also gives the person and the persons who are in this debate an opportunity to sometimes hear themselves present things and then decide whether or not their viewpoint is even valid. But what happens a lot of times is a lot of people just want to come up with a general statement. And sometimes I do that, I admit. And they don't want anybody to question it. And then when somebody does question it, they have a problem with that. They're like, hey, why are you questioning, what I'm saying? And now that's where the debate comes in and say, well, here's why, and you can articulate that. Now the problem comes in, and I know in the beginning of my life, this is where I was having a problem. I had a hard time articulating my viewpoint. One of the other issues I have, which everybody knows, I can be long-winded. And sometimes in a debate, economy of speech, one of the terms I learned in the Navy, economy of speech is most effective. But when your vocabulary is somewhat reduced for whatever reason in life, it can make it hard for you to say what you need to say in 10 words or less and be effective as you would be if you would have said it in 45 words or more. So that's something that I'm working on myself. But nonetheless, my mindset is if there's something that I'm saying, I don't have a problem being questioned or people asking me. And if you really feel that I'm 1,000% wrong or even 1% wrong or whatever, and it's something that's steering notaries in a different direction, then let's have a discussion about it. And I don't have a problem. Let's do it publicly so we can get to the heart of the matter so I can be educated as well as everybody else. What I'm finding in this business and just in life in general, a lot of people like to tell folk off to the side how to proceed, and they want to tell them over here in the corner like some kind of advisor, and they want to have that put their hand up the person's back dictating stuff, but they don't want to be the face of it. And that right there, I don't play. Nobody's gonna have their hand up my back like, okay, Griff, this is what you really need to say. And then, next thing you know, when I go to turn around, it's like, oh, where they at? And they done left me out there hanging. Hold on, I got to turn this light down a little bit. There we go. There we go. Ah, yeah, that's a little better. A lot better, actually. It was just a little too bright for me. So, so if y'all got a question or concern, you're new in the business, feel free to pop up here or ask your question, and I'll be more than happy to provide an answer. And maybe even somebody else. Samantha Smith is here. If you're a Georgia notary and you have a question that she may be able to answer, you got Q here. He's from Philly. He should be able to help you out. You got Shannon here from New York. She should be able to help you out. And I'm gonna put this person on the spot. We got Crystal from Virginia, my state. She should be able to help. Crystal is so smart and she knows all the notarial answers. And then we got my man Caprinas rolling up in here from California. So if you have a question about things that are going on in those particular states, hold up. Oh, something says comments are shut off. Hold up. Let me check something. I did not realize. No, comments shouldn't be shut off. Yeah, people are commenting, so somebody just told me that comments was shut off. Hold on, let me let them know they are not. Yeah. I know she's there listening at a W2. I don't think the comments are shut off at the thing. Let me. Hold on. Let me try. Yeah, no, I don't see. Yeah, comments are on. I don't see. I don't know. And so, all right. So one of the things, and I want to share stuff, and this is stuff that I've probably talked about before, but me and Q was talking about it. Me and my wife was talking about it. One of the things that happens a lot of times, and is probably it really is happening, is that notaries are getting a little confused with all of these crazy instructions. All right, you're looking for a mentor in the Fort Hood, Texas area. Okay. Now I always ask the question when it comes to mentors, and this is a standard question. What is it that you're looking to be mentored in? The reason why I ask is that way you can be able to qualify whether or not that person can help you. Because a lot of people will say, "Oh, I can mentor you." A lot of people are saying, "I can mentor you and just go pay me $39.50 a month and watch my videos." So one of the things that I found out, you have to do that. So with general notary work, okay, so most of the times with general notary work, hey, what's going on, lady? I love the videos that Q been doing for you. They look great. They look real, real good. Your videos on your YouTube channel look great. If you want, please put your YouTube channel in here because y'all need to go follow Nota Doc. She has some really, really good stuff on her channel, and Q's been doing a great job helping her out. Yeah, you're right. Stuart does have a lot of instructions. So with general notary work, the question would be then, is it how to fill out the notarial acknowledgments, or is it how to get more work? Because if it's how to get more work, um, being honest with you, from talking to other notaries, some of these so-called mentors don't really want to help you get more work because then you become competition for them in their minds. If you're trying to get more work, one of the areas that I suggest is within the medical facilities of the industry, chiropractors, because there are chiropractors who get called into court for car accidents, and sometimes they can't go and they need an affidavit notarized, so that because they're busy running their practice and they don't want to turn around and leave their practice just so they can go into court and testify. So that becomes a problem. Finish printing these docs for my 6 o'clock. So that also becomes a problem where, they are, okay, that's 12. They're trying to, they need something notarized. Just make sure my settings right. Cool. So that's one way. Always having your business cards on you, always looking for an opportunity. One of the things that I do, which I know you probably already do it, make sure you're always looking good, dressed and everything. One of the things, so like a lot of times if I see a guy and he's in a nice outfit, I always speak to him, "Hey man, nice outfit you got on." So I'm dressed nicely, he's dressed nicely. I compliment him on his outfit. If I see somebody and it's clear that they work at a bank, I may just strike up a quick conversation. "Hey, oh, you work at Town Bank?" "Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, I'm familiar with them. I'm a notary and I've done some loan closings for them and everything. So that's good. You work in probably in the mortgage departments or anything?" They may say yes or no, and then I will hand up and say, "Well, look, I gotta go, but if you ever need a notary or any of your colleagues need a notary to take care of stuff, even though I know y'all have somebody in house, but if you ever have a situation where one of your clients can't make it to you on mobile, I'll be more than happy to go to them." Now, in my case, I can also say I'm also an e-notary, so I can take care of them online, and then I'm gone. And I make, and sometimes, I say, and I say, "May I have your card?" Now, when I get their card, and I let them know, I said, "Don't worry, I'm not going to be spamming you or anything. I just want to have your card so I can put it in my number, in my contacts, so that if you call, I know who it is." But I let them know, I said, "Don't worry, I'm not going to spam you or give you information out or things of that nature." So that's one way. So if it's the marketing aspect, there are ways that you can figure out how to market your business to these different people. You see what I'm saying? If you know somebody in the insurance industry, that might be a way. So also, when you say general notary work, what specifically are you looking at for general notary work, Al? And while he's typing in, Stuart title has way too many instructions. Yes. My friend Erica was telling me how it wasn't with Stuart, but she was saying how I think she had like 13 pages of instructions. And this goes into people not having the foundation that they need in order to be a notary signing agent. And they're hopping out here just trying to be, fancy mancy and all of that. And they're making a whole bunch of mistakes. So when that happens, they now have to tell you exactly what to do. It's like, here's what to do. Do this, do that, do it this way, do it that way, because a lot of notaries act as if they don't know what to do. So to keep things square, let me tell you, then that way you can't call me. And it's sad when they have to give you instructions on how to do your job as a notary. But they're doing that in order so that they can keep their business. That's what the issue is. They're trying to keep their business because notaries are making mistakes. So to keep my clients happy, I'm telling my client, hey, bank, title, don't worry about it. I'm going to make sure they have instructions on exactly what to do. What do you want? Okay, you want that? Gotcha. Put this in here. Notaries, follow the instructions. And then you go and you don't, boom. Now, with that, with following the instructions, here's something that has been going on. A lot of notaries have been taking instructions from one order. So let's just say you're doing an order for, what is this here? Drinking water. Okay, I'm not even gonna say the name because it comes from a company. I don't want to. We'll do this here. So this is the stamp people, XL Mark, the stamp people. Okay, so you got an order from XL Mark Signing Company. XL uses, we'll say, Penny Mac. Penny Mac has instructions. Penny Mac instruction says boom, boom, boom. Then you get another order from XL Signing Services, and this time they're with Rocket Mortgage. So now they're with Rocket Mortgage, and Rocket says, oh, well, we have these instructions. So notaries are sometimes, and I understand it can get confusing, but notaries will say, well, their instructions, the last time I was doing something for Excel said this, and now this time it's saying that. Do I still do what this said over here, or do I do what this is saying now? It's always the instructions that you're currently with. Now, you have to ask yourself, Excel is the same company sending me two orders, but are all the entities the same in that succession? So you got Excel, then the lender, well, you got the title company, then the lender. Is the title company the same on both ends? Yes. Is the lender the same on both ends? Maybe not. You could have the same lenders, but different title. You can have different title and lender from the other company or the other order. So if you ask questions, and I told this to notaries, if you ask a question to Excel, the signing company, I want to know, do I need to follow these instructions from an order that you gave me a week or two ago? But the order that you're doing now has nothing to do with that. And the instructions are clear what they want, but you're still asking questions about the instructions over there. They may start looking at you sort of funny because they're like, wait a minute. Don't you realize you deal with what's in front of you? Yes, I know, but I remember in the other instructions, it said this. True, those other instructions said that, but that was for a different order, different everything. So do I follow them? You get what I'm saying? You see where I'm going? So they're telling you, since it's different and you deal with what's in front of you, ignore that thing over there and focus on this right here. But what notaries want to be told is definitively, no, don't do those orders. But it should be in the companies, and I'm telling you from conversations I've had with them, they're like, it should be clear that you do not need to follow those orders since they are for a different company, a different loan product, all of this stuff. I know, but I'm just trying to make sure. So until somebody physically tells you, you don't need to follow those orders. So now you're doing, so somebody told you don't follow those orders. Now you got these orders. When you get your third order from them, do they need to tell you don't follow the first or the second, just follow the third? Then you get your sixth order, don't follow orders, instructions from orders 1 through 5. They should not have to keep telling us, all of us, that includes me, that. But that's where we're at with some notaries. And a lot of this comes from things that you've heard in Facebook and other social media platforms. And you got all of these thoughts in your head, and you're like, who do I listen to? And that's where it gets confusing. So that's where you have to sometimes be very careful, right? Somewhat the one size fits all, and that doesn't work here. So you have to be mindful. So it's like, which voice do I hear? You listen to the people who you just recently worked with. You can learn something from the others. And the example that I always give to y'all, Villa Title. Villa Title gives me orders. As a matter of fact, that's what I have now. I have an order from Villa Title that I'm printing out. And in the in the documents, they have the U.S. Patriot Act. The U.S. Patriot Act only wants one ID, but their written instructions that's in SnapDoc says 2 IDs. Villa Title also has orders that where they say you have to print everything on legal. Then they have orders that don't say that. So just because it doesn't say that, now I got to call them and say, okay, your last order said print all legal, but this order doesn't say. And their attitude is going to be, do what the order says. If it doesn't say it, don't worry about it. Okay, yeah, I know, but do I print on all legal? What does the order say? It doesn't say. So then what do? That's why I'm asking you. I'm asking you to tell me, what should I do? Sorry about that. That's what I forgot, my tea. Maybe that ice cream got me. Probably did. So so that's where the issue is. The issue is you want somebody to definitively tell you, don't do this. Even though the instructions are like, I mean, I don't know what other example I can give, but you have to be mindful. And these companies, and here's the thing, you're not the only person that's talking to them at that time. There's multiple people. They're trying to get orders out. They're trying to deal with the orders coming in. And then you're like, so do I need to follow these instructions from the last time? Because in this order, you didn't say that I should, print all legal or all letter. And you didn't say anything about blue or black ink. So I just want to make sure that I know what you want. That's why a lot of times they don't pick up the phone. They're like, just email us, just text us, and we'll answer you from there. And then if you answer something, they're gonna be like, you know what, don't even answer that. So let's see. Actually, since I'm near a military base in college, I was looking at POAs and apostilles. Okay, so all you got to do is you mark it that if you're near a college or military base, you chaplain for the military, and really even for the college, you get with the chaplain, because sometimes people go through stuff there with the chaplain people. You get with the administration people, whoever does student registration. They can they may be able to, may know student registration. You may want to get with the counselors, anybody who, the counselors at the college and the military base. With the military, you got the legal department. But if for some reason the member is not able to get to the legal department to get it notarized, then you can always touch the bases with them and say, hey, look, just in case any of your members can't get with you, here's my card. I'll be more than happy to accommodate them. So there are ways you can do it. You can do a pop-up event where you set up a small tent and you just say, today free notarizations or $1 notarizations. And not everybody's going to get, do something notarized by you that day because they may not have their document, but you can. Now, you see what I'm saying? You could, if you wanted to, have a situation where you have a laptop and a printer. Just make sure you have somebody there to keep an eye on it because, people be snatching stuff. But have a laptop and a printer. And if somebody wanted to sit there and print a document out, or maybe they have it in their email, and you can say, well, here's the laptop and printer. Feel free to log in. And then they can print their stuff off right then and there. So they may have a document, but they never printed it. The attorney or somebody sent them, say, hey, get this POA done. And they're like, okay, I'll get it. And I'll find a notary one day. And then now here you are popped up on the college campus or near the military base, and they can get it done because you provided them a way to print right then and there. I don't know how many people are going to be in that situation, but it's a good way to be prepared. You see what I'm saying? Or they may say, hey, maybe I can call my lawyer and tell them to email me and then print it. You're making it accessible. Okay. You're not preparing the documents. You're just providing a kiosk for them to get the documents. That's all you're doing. You're not helping them prepare the documents at all. Frank says, just do what the directions said. Tell you. That's it. And if you follow the instructions, it's hard for them to come back at you. Now they might still, because some have to me, but you need to do that. Now, right, you got to think outside. No one needs to think outside. That's what I'm trying to say. No one needs to think outside the box when the information is clearly presented. It's that simple. Now, one aspect, the only thing you should think outside the box of, if for some reason you truly aren't clear on their instructions, meaning you're not mixing instructions. For this order, I'm not clear, but I can't get in contact with anybody. Everybody wants to get on the phone and call people, use SnapDocs, signing order, whatever method, and chat with them, send them a note, boom, email them, so you'll have a written record that you reached out to them. Case in point, I had a signing yesterday, reverse mortgage, where the lady had to sign in a former name. She hadn't been that name in maybe 20, 30 years or more. And she didn't have ID in her current name. I mean, in the former name. She had a current name, but not the former name. So what I had to do was I had to let the signing company know, according to Virginia law, either I personally know her, valid ID, or credible witness. So the only way, if you want me to notarize the signature in her former name, I gotta have this here as a way to prove who she is and record it in my logbook. And they reached out to the title company. The title company never gave back an answer. Never. They just never gave back an answer. What's going on, Mary? Yeah, you've been MIA on these lies, lady. So I'm like, what am I going to do? I got to just follow the law. And I went head on and did it. But I communicated with everybody what was going on. That's what I did. I communicated with everybody on what was going on so that they would like, okay, there's no doubt that if I get there and she has no ID and no credible witnesses, you can't say the notary didn't inform you. And I informed them everything worked out because she had credible witnesses and we was good to go. So everything worked out. This is the kind of stuff you have to do. You got to communicate with them. Now, another subject that I wanted to hit on, and thank y'all for hitting the like button. Guess I need to put my banner up there. And the notary, I always forget to promote the notary success system. We got training this weekend. Trying to think. Yeah, we got training this weekend. Saturday, I think we got one person, maybe two people. And then I don't know how many people I have on Sunday. A lot of times I don't really look into it until basically the end of the week and everything. And that's what I'm getting ready to do now. So if you're interested, notarysuccesssystem.com, if you're in the area or can get down this way, so far, no, I don't have any training on Sunday. I got Saturday, I got two people on Saturday. So Saturday at 3:00, I got 2 people. I got enough room for I think 3 more people. So if you're interested, come on out. Go to notarysuccesssystem.com, submit the training request. I'll send you the payment link, and then we'll be good to go for that. Or if you want to do Sunday at 8 in the morning or at 4:30 in the afternoon on Sunday. Oh yeah, and somebody just told me to remind Virginia notaries, don't collect funds. We do not collect funds in Virginia unless we have a title producer license, and those things can be expensive. Now, here's one of the other things that I believe is going on out there in these notary streets, as we call it. There are people out there telling y'all a way to make money as a notary is to prepare documents for signers. We are not allowed to do that. We are not allowed to do that. So in the Code of Virginia, and I've read it several times to y'all, Code of Virginia 47.1-15 says, unauthorized practice of law. Do not assist others with legal matters. As a ministerial officer, a notary, a non-attorney notary, is not permitted to assist other persons in drafting, preparing, selecting, completing, or understanding a document or a transaction requiring a notarial act. That's what Virginia Code 47.1-15 says. So, and I'm sure I'm just gonna pull it up too so y'all can see. I am sure other people 47 right here. All right. Let me show y'all. And I'm sure other states have the same requirement that you are not to do that. So if you are following people and being cool with people and hanging with people who are telling you to do that, you're going to get yourself in trouble. So this is prohibitations. A notary shall not. This is Virginia. This is called Virginia law. I will type this in here for Virginia notaries. Y'all can go look this up. Called Code of Virginia. So it talks about notarize a document if the signer is not present. Use only official notary title, this, that, and the other. Notarize a signature on a document without wording on the same page as the signature unless the notarial certificate includes the name of each person whose signature is being notarized. What that means is simply if you're notarizing a document and it's for Virginia and your notarial act is not on the same page as the signature, then you need to put the person's name in the notarial act, meaning the foregoing instrument was acknowledged before me on this third day of whatever, 2020, whatever, by John Jones and Jane Jones. You need to put their name in the notarial acknowledgement. Okay. That's what you need to do if it's not. But here's the thing that I was just reading. A notary, I keep saying a notary, a non-attorney notary, non-attorney. I'm right here. I'm going to leave this highlighted so you can understand that there's a specific type. A non-attorney notary shall not assist another person and drafting, completing, selecting, or understanding a document or transaction requiring a notarial act. This section does not preclude a notary who is duly qualified, trained, or experienced in a particular industry or professional field from selecting, drafting, completing, or advising on a document or certificate related to a matter within that industry or field, or prevent a notary from adding a notarial certificate, electronic one, at the direction of a principal or lawful authority. So basically, if you got experience and you are qualified to do that, then cool. If you're not, then you should not be doing it. So starting a company or trying to expand what you do and the person is not really qualified to do it, that's going to be a problem. And when somebody says we can have a notary, one of our qualified notaries do something, you then have to ask the question, what qualified that notary to do it? What made that notary qualified to do it? The only way is if they are already, like in one of the cases, if they're an attorney notary. If they're an attorney notary, then cool. But if they're not, they can't be doing it. And this is one of the problems that we have right now, is that you're not doing your research. People are telling you to do things to make money, and you have not even researched whether or not your state says it's okay. And the answer to this here is no, meaning it is not legal. I mean, they can print out a blank POA, but they need to fill it in. So no notary in their right mind is going to fill out a blank power of attorney that has nothing at all on it. Are notaries doing that? Yeah, I'm sure they are. Ice cream is the bomb. I'm sure they are, but they shouldn't, and you shouldn't. Oh, what's this? Okay, one of my orders just got rescheduled, so I got to check on that while I'm talking to y'all. Um, oops, can't let y'all see me logging in. I know what y'all trying to do. It's so it is not legal. Um, look, and and I always have to ask. I mean, from the common sense perspective, it's like, if you understand what your role is as a notary, then certain things that people ask you, you should automatically know it's not right for you to do. It's just not right for you to do. And it's not your job to try to figure out how to do it once you know that it's not legal. The question is, do you know it's not legal? And if you don't know it's not legal, then the question is, what have you been doing to learn what your role is as a notary? And that's the biggest problem that we're facing right now, is that a lot of people just don't know. They don't know what their job is as a notary. So even like me and Q was talking about the verbiage, you have to sometimes take the one thing that you should all be reading is your notarial verbiage. If you're not reading the notarial verbiage, let's see here. Hold on. I got to pull up my calendar to make sure I'm still available at that time. Okay, that moved to 5 o'clock. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Tell them I can do. So now it's Tuesday at 5. Okay. Yep, I'm still available. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. And then I will call to confirm with them. And I should be good to go. All right. So so okay, let's get some. I'm not sure your experience with any of this. The bottom line is, chap, you're not supposed to be doing that. Okay. So I don't know if you sincerely asking this question, and I say this because sometimes people ask, you know, these questions just to try to throw things off. Not I have to say this because the people here, I've never seen you in this chat before. So this is my first time, and I'm like, okay, we would fill it out together. You don't fill it out. Okay, I'm going to end this subject on this. You don't do it. Okay. If you want to do that, that's on you. But let the record reflect. Griffin Notary Success System is telling you, don't go down that road. Your job is not to do that, period. Unless your state says otherwise, unless you're duly qualified to do so. Other than that, leave it alone and stop trying to find a way to do something that you may not be legal to do. The first thing you need to do is find out, are you legally allowed to do it? Not trying to see, oh, well, somebody wants me to do this and somebody brought this to me. It's not even about you. And I see your next thing saying it made you feel uncomfortable, but please make sure, okay? Make sure. I'm not trying to get on you, but people be asking these questions and trying to throw stuff off. So I just gotta, please don't get offended, y'all, and all of that. But don't mess with that. What's going on, lady? All things Nata Jean. So, all right. Good afternoon there. She had her first Old Republic. She did good. Me and her did a late. I said a late because I'm seeing somebody's thing here saying I'm late. We did a doc review and got her situated. So, I also wanted to share a few more thoughts real quick about. I was talking about the generational wealth. That's a big thing because so many people are really, really pushing I need to get generational wealth. Not saying you don't, but it doesn't happen overnight. Unless you hitting the lotto, unless you strike it, on like the Beverly Hillbillies out there shooting some shooting for some venison or something, and you hit the ground and oil pops up and now you're a billionaire. Other than that, you got to work for it. And let's just be real. There are a lot of notaries that don't even want to work for what they're doing now as a notary. And there are a lot of notaries who don't really want to work for stuff as a W-2. And now you're talking about, how do I create generational wealth? The foundation of creating generational wealth is you working. That one generation has put in the time and effort so that so that the other generations can benefit. So the question is, what are you willing to sacrifice and put your time and effort into in order for the next generations to have that wealth? And do you have the proper knowledge base so that you can do it? Now, a lot of people are trying to get educated in the concept and the idea of generational wealth, but very, very few are willing to do the work. So you have people like, well, I won't even say their name because I don't want people. You have NBA basketball players who have chosen to do whatever they need to do. For some, I'm going to stay at this team. And by staying at this team, I can get a whole buttload of money that'll take care of my family for forever and ever. Then there's others who learn how to work the system. Well, if I work on this team, then I hop over to this team, then I hop over here. I can get all these max contracts and have generational wealth. I can get certain endorsements and I can have generational wealth. So they're putting in some level of work in order to get the generational wealth. The problem is, again, a lot of notaries, if you're sitting on your butt and you're like, I don't want to get up for this and get up for that, then when are you going to start doing the work? Generational wealth doesn't come just because you got an idea. And it's not always about you having 15 passive, strings of income. sometimes you got to actively get in there and do the work. And there are a lot of y'all who don't want to actively get in there and do the work. And you're listening to people who don't actively want to do work. So that's the problem. Generational wealth can be done, but you got to understand the system that generational wealth flows through in order for it to be tax-free and all of that. And if you don't understand that, and see, generational wealth is not about just passing down assets, it's about passing down the intangibles, which is the knowledge and understanding of how money works. That's what you got to be able to pass down. And if you have children who are stubborn and hard-headed and don't want to listen, irregardless whether you put it in a trust or you give it to them directly, they're not going to keep that wealth that you created for the next generation. They'll just spend it all up. So if they don't understand the concept of generational wealth, everything that you built will be gone after a generation or two. So that's why I did that video, so that you can really think about this whole concept before running behind any and everybody talking about, well, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna learn this generational wealth thing. Yeah, it's making me cough, but man, this stuff was so good. Got some good ice cream. Give me a sponsorship. Throw some ads on my stuff here. I'm telling you, that ice cream is good. I had to hurry up and eat it because it's been sitting in the refrigerator for a while. And I wanted to get on it before it started getting frostbit and stuff. But see, I told you to be making me cough. It's just that cold temperature change. All right. So that's what I wanted. Another thing that I want to talk about. A fourth thing I want to talk about is training. In the video that I did on as everybody's calling it, they don't even call it the Notary Pyramid Scheme video. They call it the Notary Boule video. And again, the Notary Boule, the Boule is a group of people. You could say Boule aristocrats, like the caste system, that are doing everything they can to be like gatekeepers and to dictate who can and cannot make money in an industry or a business. And they want to run, and they want everything to run through them. Or as one person had commented, the cartel. So you have people who act this way. And one of the things that I was saying about training is that, when is enough training enough? What piece of training do I need to take in order for everybody in the industry to say, you're good, Griff? Because if I do the NNA, that's not good enough for some. If I take these these outside the NNA trainer stuff, people say that's not good. If I just go to my state, they say that's not good. What makes my training and complete? What is it that you need from me to be complete and give you the complete confidence that I know what I'm doing as a notary? It's the same brand for the that you see in the store for the macadamia nuts. So what is it that I need to do in order to give you confidence? And I've asked that question, and no one has ever been able to give me an answer. Now they will say, well, you need to go to this training and you take that. Okay, but I'm talking about training that I can take and I'm good for the whole industry. That's what I'm talking about. If I can take this one training that is going to teach me the stuff that I need to know, then, so what do I need to do and who is that with? And how detailed? Because I don't see the training out there. Now, I'll be honest, I'm trying to do something like that with the Notary Success System. It's not going to cover each and every little thing. I would say the closest you could get is if you did work with Laura Brewer, Coach Me Laura, because she deals with a lot of with all the state specific stuff. So this is her website. So if you know, that's the beginning from a notarial standpoint, from understanding who you are and what you're supposed to do as a notary. Okay. Um, but would somebody say her course isn't good enough either? You see what I'm saying? Is it that is it, you know, and then the question also becomes, in my opinion, what makes this training not sufficient? What makes another training not sufficient? That's the thing. But because there's so many different variables from all of the different signing companies and title companies and lenders, it's virtually impossible to say this one training will hit all of the facets. But if everybody understands their job as a notary, which is to notarize, then how can you not be a good notary? And when you look at the failures that are happening in the notary world that everybody's complaining about, but nobody's trying to address, the failures come in the behavior side of the house of notaries going over and above what they should be doing, going well below what they should be doing, taking shortcuts that they shouldn't be taking. But then you find out that some of those tactics and techniques that those notaries are doing are coming from people who coming from their training. So they got trained to do things backdoor to get to escrow and title. Leave your business cards here and there. That's why companies are saying, don't put your business cards in the folders. Don't go marketing. All of that. So the stuff that's getting notaries in trouble is the stuff that they really don't want us doing, but our trainers who we're paying all this money to are telling us to do. And not every trainer is doing that, but there are a lot are. So they're telling me you to do something. And the bad part is that you don't know that this thing they're telling you to do is not welcomed by the company that's paying you. So you're doing something that the people who are paying you don't want done. And you don't even know it. This is why I'm so adamant that you need to vet people. You need to investigate and talk to people and find out for yourself, what do you want, signing company? What do you want? Okay. And as the NNA says, if the instructions that you were given go outside of what you're supposed to be doing legally per your state, you can't follow them. So they tell me collect funds. My state says I can't. Well, you will. No, I won't, because my state tells me I am not allowed to. So, but if they ask me, they say, hey, can you have them initial someplace that really doesn't need to be initial, but that's just their personal preference. As long as it doesn't interfere with what I need to do as a notary, then I'm good. Okay, fine. They'll initial. I don't agree that it needs to be initial. It clearly says they don't need to initial it, but you want them to initial it. So guess what? They will initial it. But if you ask me to do something that goes outside of the scope of my notarial law, that's not going to get done. I'm not doing that. And you shouldn't punish me because I'm following state law. I know that may be your company's personal preference, and that may be the way your state does it, but my state law trumps what you want when you ask me to do the notarial acknowledgments and jurats in my state. That takes precedence, just like the notaries in your state takes precedence over another. And this is where the conundrum comes in at. So it still goes all the way back to the number one question: when is enough training enough? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What training can I take that no matter who sees me in a database, they will have confidence that I can do the work? And it has to be training good enough that when they see a new notary, brand new, never done a single signing, but they say, okay, you took this training, we have confidence that you know the basics of what you need to do and you ain't gonna jack nothing up. what training is out there that's designed to do that? Personally, I think the notary success system, because once you come in to do what I'm teaching you, you will know how to notarize. And the only way you won't be able to be successful is if you get in your own way, you get in your own head, and you revert back to bad information that you gathered from Facebook and other places, Notary Cafe, Clubhouse, all of that. You connected with the wrong people. That's where the failure point is. And I would say, even if you took some of these other people's training, the failure point is probably because you stopped listening to what they were saying. So they may have given you some good tips on marketing, and somebody gave you some other tips. And you're like, well, I'm confused now. Well, have a conversation. Hey, you who I didn't pay for this advice, explain it to me. Hey, you who I paid for this advice, clarify this for me. We don't do that. And we just try to shoot from the hip and hope that it works. And that's not the way to do it. So Caprina says, I think the biggest problem is that not everyone state requires notary training. True. And I venture out to say that those who do not have to take training probably make more notary. I agree. And I was talking to someone today stating that every person who's in a state that does not require training or does not have any kind of training should be required to take the notary essentials every year for their first 3 years. I believe everybody should take notary essentials and the signing agent training for the first 3 years. NNA, if you're listening, okay, I'm the one saying it. I've said it before on videos. The first 3 years of a new notary, they need to do the notary essentials and the signing agent training. That needs to happen, those two, for the first 3 years before you start just doing the background check and test only. That background and check test only should not be even an option for a brand new notary or even a notary who's never been a signing agent. If you don't have any documented proof and you haven't been in the National Notary Association system, your first 3 years, you need to take those things to ensure that you're going in the right direction. You say, who's saying here? I wouldn't mind. I don't have a problem coming. I really don't. I really don't. People need to take time to learn notary law. Right. They need to learn notary law. So it's the trainings that are out there. You have to recognize what they're geared for. Whether it's LaShawn's training, which she has great training, or anybody else, you have to recognize what their training is geared for. So the Notary Business Builder, which is Bill Soroka, they're geared for experienced notaries. So that means if you're a brand new notary, real green, you probably don't want to invest your time and money in that because they're not going to do any hand holding for you. All right, I ain't eating no more ice cream. I ain't eating no more ice cream. Just drink my water. Keep my throat straight. So so they need to define, you need to figure, okay, this is what their training is about. And once you understand that, operate within that confine. Now, on the other side, people have said, I don't like the NNA's training because the NNA don't teach me what I need to know. Well, my question has always been, what is it that you need to know? What is it that you're trying to, typing the wrong thing. What is it that you're trying to learn from the NNA? And 98% of the time, really about 100, they say, I want to know how to explain the documents. So you want the NNA to tell you how to explain the documents. Well, I'm like, well, there's these other courses that teach that. Well, you're trying to get the NNA because you can't afford those other folk. Those other folk are charging you too much. Now, all I'm saying is, in your opinion, It's too much. You can't afford their stuff. You can't afford their stuff. So since you can't afford it, what do? Now you go to the NNA, and then the NNA is like, we're not teaching you how to explain documents because that's not your job. We have this script that you can use to just give a brief overview. And they have the loan source book. True. The only thing about the loan source book, it doesn't, for the notarial section, I don't think it really gives you any explanation or breakdown. For as what the different documents are, yes, and you get a better idea. But as I always start saying, when you're in a closing and the person is like, I don't need you to explain anything, then what? They just taking your power away. Your superpower is your ability to explain the documents. That makes you look good to at least the people sitting across from you. So you get there and they slap the kryptonite down of knowledge saying, we good. We don't need you to explain anything. We just need to sign and use stamp. Now the question becomes, do you know how to notarize the document? I hope y'all see where I'm going with this. You can learn the documents all day, every day. But if the customer tells you, shh, they do that, shh, they want you to be quiet because they already know I'm a loan officer. I'm a mortgage processor. I'm a notary myself. So I understand the documents. We already reviewed everything last night. The question is, can you do your job without the platform of running your mouth about the documents? Can you do your job without the platform of you running your mouth about the documents? Say it one more time. Can you do your job as a notary without the platform of running your mouth about the documents? Can you just sit there and notarize in their presence? Not take the documents, run to FedEx or UPS or go in the back of your car, curled up in a fetal position, waiting for an answer from Facebook on how to fill those things out. And if you're in an attorney state, you better know what you're doing for notarizing documents. Because I'm almost at the point like, bump it. Make every state attorney state. Then you ain't got to worry about all this. I'm gonna rank. I'm like, look, just get the business. All right. I'm not even gonna go down that direct thing. Because people think I'm not picking at anybody, but these are just, I'm not. Stop, girl. Stop. I had to pay for internet bank attorney, and that's where you messed up. I eventually got the internet how to do and it helped. Yeah, that could have helped me from wasting money. Right. It's nothing. I mean, I'm not against those other trainers, but I just always, as I've always said, they just need to be upfront and say, look, and some of them are, but you're so enamored with the I'm gonna make $10,000 that you don't hear the I'm not teaching you how to notarize the documents, which the notarizing the documents is what makes you the $10,000. I'm not paying you any money for mistakes. You keep jacking the documents up. I'm not paying you, but I marketed to you so pretty and so cute. I came up there with Griff's favorite ice cream. Okay, cool. Tell Griff thank you, but you jacked up the documents. So guess what? We don't want to see your behind no more. One lady told me, she said she went and talked to a title office, and when she was leaving, she could have swore that she heard, I don't know if my microphone will pick it up, but she heard this. Oh, I can't hear her business card being dropped in a trash can. That's happened to me before too. And I don't even give cookies and donuts and pastries and stuff. Maybe that's why they did it. I don't know. I don't know. Said I had an attorney was like, just give me the docs to sign and I will bring them back to you. Yeah. And some notary, and I've had people will sit there and sign everything in front of me. They don't want me to explain anything. I'm watching them sign. Gotcha. Okay, you did. Make sure, don't forget this. You need to answer those questions. All right, boom. And then I do my thing. It's like that sometimes. Okay. Yep, they've disappeared because when it comes to, after people got out of the hype and they started saying, okay, now teach me. When many of y'all required them to say, when you started putting a requirement on them to actually teach and not give me all of these here Cabo trips and all of that stuff, but teach, not sitting up here showing your Fendi bags and your new Nikes, but teach, they had to leave. They had to leave because they had nothing to give you. They had nothing else to give you. And a lot of them didn't really have any experience because a lot of them did maybe 100 signings and then they got out of the business for doing signings and they turned around and was like, okay, I don't really have any experience. I don't have nothing to share with you because I no longer have that experience. I'm no longer connected with that because it's been 8 months since I've done a signing and now they got a new loan application. I don't know nothing about that. All right. So they done took themselves out. Okay. So it says the how-to guide for notaries loan signing amazing. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Yep. So that's why a lot of people have disappeared because longevity wise, what do they have to teach you? What do they have to educate to educate you in when they're not increasing their education? I mean, you think about what the people are truly trying to educate you in. They're educating you in how to get business, but not how to do the business of notarizations. And that's what the notary success system is about. We help you in doing the business of notarizations. That's where it's at. Because once somebody's confident in you to notarize their documents, they'll keep coming back to you over and over and over again. But if they don't have any confidence in you, I ain't messing with you. If you think about it sensibly, the only thing that you can do to build confidence in anybody's mind concerning you as a notary is that you do your job as a notary correctly. No matter how well you market, no matter how smooth you have your beard trim, no matter what, it's the actual application and practicality of you doing it. With so many notaries talking about, I need to do hands-on loan closing, many of you don't do that right when it's real time. That's why I say, think about it. If you're for real about getting trained, you have to make the trainers create the proper environment. So having it at restaurants or hotel lobbies where there's all this other ambient noise that that really shouldn't be there, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. Having all these people who really aren't, they're just there because they just happen to have the money to spend, but they're not really trying to learn anything. That's a problem that will interfere with you trying to learn. That's why I keep saying, that's why with the notary success system, 3 to 5 students, one-on-one in a nice area, it's just us. And we just try to have a good time with each other and we learn and we grow from there. That's what it's all about. So, and it was one more thing that I wanted to talk to y'all about, and I'm trying to remember what it was. And all right, so you're saying now what the heck you do? Okay, heck, what are you talking about, my man? What are you talking about? What do you do concerning what and how and where? What's going on, Jeff? So what are you talking about, Leo? What do you do for what? Um Also, where you located at? Yeah. There's somebody that's named Bryce something, I think Bryce Hall. I think that she's been in the business about 20 some years. And there are a lot of notaries who have decided to hop in and be trainers. Okay, you're in Cali. Um, yeah, there's a lot of notaries who have hopped in. What they're teaching, I have no idea. I know I've seen that some of them are teaching a variety of things, and this is just the truth of the matter. And I've said this all the time long. So please, other Virginia trainers, don't take offense to this. But some people are real good at regurgitating information that they've acquired over a certain amount of time, but they're not necessarily good at teaching. And one of the things I had to figure out is how to actually teach. And this is years ago before I got into notary, because any information that is shared with you that you never heard before will always seem like wow. And then you do have few people those few people that this is a sign of coming. I can't do that. This for later tonight. These there's some people that's like their academic prowess is so high that you could just sit there and show them something like that for a few seconds and they know how to make it. You be like, hey, and they're like, oh, got it. So there's some people that's like that. For the rest, you got to have some patience and you really got to understand how to teach. You know, a lot of people will be like, okay, what you told me got me started, and then they went out and did their own, and you can be attributed to their success because you sparked them. But when you have somebody who is really, really, really struggling, you have to have some experience so you can relate to them, some examples, multiple examples sometimes to help them figure out how to understand this thing. And you really do have to have patience with them. And I've had people cry, get upset because they realized that they didn't learn what they needed to learn, but I still had to keep them focused on what they're doing. And that's why sometimes I'm in there 4 or 5 hours, sometimes 6 hours, one time 8 hours, working with people to help them out. And if that's what I got to do, that's what I got to do. That's just how I am. That's my heart, you know. So, all right, let me go back to some of these here. What's going on, dark room? Got your hair all laid down. Got your little lipstick on. Look at you. Uh-huh. Didn't think nobody gonna notice that. Yeah, yeah. Instead of the fritters today, I went with the ice cream. Should have did the fritters. Wouldn't be making me all coffee. So you and Cali. Cali runs different. They have training out there, so make sure you do their training. Um, how do you prove? It's not about proving. I guess when you say prove them wrong, what I try to do is help people understand behavior. Do you understand the different behaviors that are out there of people who are trying to get over on you? That's the question. You know, that's what I try to help people to understand. Um, yeah, Bryce Hall, that's her name. Yeah. So I know she's been in the business for a minute. Let me see. Just trying to see where. So I'm not trying to prove really anybody wrong. I'm just trying to show y'all that you need to take responsibility and control. Ooh, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Okay, hold on. No, this map is giving me the wrong address. Okay, let me. Any other questions? I know I'm a little all over the place right now. I'm about to get off of here. Let me pull up this order. Let me. Okay. I don't know why it's showing me something. Okay, I'm way down there. All right. Sorry about this, y'all. I was just trying to figure out where I'm going for my 6 o'clock. All right, it ain't gonna take me too long to get there. All right, so thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, I try to do the best I can to speak the truth, but I can't remember that last thing I wanted to talk to y'all about. But those are just some of the things. I will say, because I know a lot of people think that I'm just trying to, but that I'm the grumpy old man and all of that. No, I'm not. If y'all look at me that way, cool. But stop giving me stuff to be grumpy about. um, yeah, you should join the NNA. I see no reason why you shouldn't. There's a video I have out there called "I'm a New Notary Now What" or "What's Next," something like that. Look in my notary basic playlist. Look in the description of the videos. You'll see a whole bunch of links. There's all kind of playlists. Click the my picture. Go to the main channel. You'll see up there playlist. Go to Notary Basics. Look at those videos in there. The information is out there, and you can do this yourself. Don't. It's not that we can't rely on others, but don't get so stuck like I can't do this unless I spent 80 hours in training. Most of these trainers out here did not do that. They did not spend. And you got Caprentice out there, so hit Caprentice up. He can help you out and everything. He'll be more than happy to give you some guidance. Now I'm gonna tell you, Caprentice is no joke. So if you come with that hemming and hawing and making excuses, Caprentice ain't gonna Caprentice, not that he's tough and hard, but Caprentice knows his stuff. So if you want help and wanted, it's not about, well, why isn't it this way? That here's how it is. You're gonna work in this confine. You're gonna work it or you're not. Yes, it would be nice if they got you the documents on time. Yes, it would be nice if they told you all this stuff up front. Yes, yes, yes. But if you understand the mortgage industry is last minute by nature. That is how the mortgage industry is. So if you understand that, then guess what? You work with that. You make what it is how it's supposed to be. Okay, well, documents are late. No problem. I got that. I know what to do. I got 3 signings, documents are late. You figure it out. Stop looking for everything to be the same way every single time. And that's what's hurting a lot of notaries, is that you want it to be the same way every single time. And your trainers aren't enlightening you to that fact. That's where the failure point, in my opinion, comes into play. All right. Well, okay. I'm gonna deal with this. This is a part of it. Okay, chap. That's They want the scanbacks because, and I've said this, everybody's screwing a lot of, well, not everybody, a lot of notaries are screwing things up to the point that they can't trust us. So again, what training can I take to make them trust me that I'm going to do right? But it's not just the training, it's also my actions when I get in order. So the training that I take will make sure that I don't make these mistakes that they have to be worried about getting scanbacks for. So if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, then the chances of me making mistakes is minimal. But if I don't know what I'm supposed to do, if I'm just trained on being a marketer and don't know how to notarize, then the chances of me making a mistake grow a billionfold. And with that, now that company has to put something in place to mitigate the issue that you have now caused. This is common sense, folk. And stop trying to find ways around. This ain't to you, chap. This is just to everybody in general. Stop trying to find. I don't like them giving scanbacks. Okay, then all those pandemic notaries, and yes, I said the word that everybody don't want me to say. Those pandemic notaries from 2020 and 2021 are the ones who caused this mess. They are the ones who cut the fool, who acted up, who didn't scan back. They're the ones who wouldn't do. And now you got to do it because of what they didn't do. And now you're left to sit here and deal with the mess that they done caused. And that's the truth of the matter. And nobody don't want to say that. Everybody want to pretend like, well, we just keep moving on. We just keep moving on and just keep going forward there. Come on, man. Don't worry about all that. Okay. But that's what we have to deal with. Why they got us doing scanbacks? Because of them from last year and the year before, making people lose hundreds of millions of dollars. But that wasn't me. Okay, then make sure you do your stuff right. But now it's in place. So now how do we get the new notaries who come in now to the point that they won't be making those same mistakes? Okay, they really trying to get somebody to do this tonight. They jacking the price up on that one. I just can't do it because I got somebody else to do. But this is where you were at. You're going to do scanbacks. Either you deal with it or you don't. You don't like it, then this is to everybody. Get out the business. And I'm not saying that I like it. I'm not sitting here saying I'm like, woohoo. Because yesterday I had to take my scanner with me and I had to sit there at the FedEx, plug it up, and scan at the FedEx so I could get the document shipped out on time. That's what I did last night. And another notary came in and she looked like, okay, what the heck you got going on here? I did what I had to do. That's what it's about. So as much smack as I talk, as much as I fuss this, that, and the other, at the end, the beginning, middle, and end of every single day, I get the job done. And if you can be that kind of notary, not be a grift notary, but just be a notary that at the beginning, middle, and end of each and every day, you get it back. It doesn't matter to me what the scan back time window is. If they need it done, I'm going to get it done. It's that simple because there's no standard scan back time window. Some want it in an hour, some want it in 2, some want it immediately because of funding issues and things of that nature. The bottom line is this: find a way to make it happen. Find a way to make it happen. That's what you got to do. And if you're going to stress out because you got to digitally scan something back, then this ain't the business for you. And yes, I know you might have to drive all the way here and come all the way back. That's a part of the business, but it's all laid out because this is the way it is now because of them PNs back in the day. Them PNs did this to y'all. And I was warning y'all, telling y'all, asking y'all, pleading with y'all, and nobody didn't want to listen. And now look at what we're dealing with. So this is where it is, and either you're going to deal with it or you don't. And the question is doing it so bad that you need not to be a part of this industry? And this is for everybody, even for myself. Is doing scanbacks that bad? It's that much of a whatever that, you know what? Forget it. I ain't going to be a notary. They can keep my notary stamp. Forget it. I don't need it because you want me to scan back. I've had orders where I've had 4 or 5 orders in a day and I had to scan back all 4 or 5 of them. But once I'm done, I don't even think about what I had to do to get the order done. I'm just waiting for the check to hit the bank. And that's what I was doing today before I came in. All them scan backs that I did, the checks for them things came and boom, they hit the bank and I had to transfer it so I could pay some bills this weekend. That's what this is all about. So if you're trying to make money, boom. Hopefully in a year or so, if we prove that we know what we're doing, we prove to them that we are great notaries and that we know how to do these closings without making mistakes, maybe they can pull back that scan back requirement. But until then, get you a good scanner and scan the daggone things back. All right. Y'all have a good one. Peace. And you got your 2-tray printer. Way to go, Kara. And yeah, I got to look for, oh man, I got to talk to that lady about this print up there. And I ain't forgot you. You know who I'm talking about. I ain't forgot you. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace.